Master Your Mindset Radio, episode 26.
Welcome to Master Your Mindset Radio, the show where we empower you to conquer limiting beliefs and transform your world with your gifting and purpose. Now for your host, Elizabeth Nader.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. So glad to have you here today. I have been thinking all day about this podcast, and I've been doing other work and sort of in my mind just waiting for that inspiration that hits, because I like to do things that are in the moment. And as I was in and out of my office all day, I kept walking by my conference table with this book on it called Discipline Equals Freedom Field Manual. Now, if you guys know that book, then you know Jocko Willink. Jocko Willink is just the most intense guy you will ever listen to. His podcast is incredible, or books that you could read. I mean, he is ex-military, Navy SEAL, and he is intense about mindset, intense about leadership, intense about discipline. So one of my coaches recently recommended his book, Discipline Equals Freedom Field Manual. And she never lets me down with her recommendations. I love to read. I love books. So I ordered it, and it's been sitting on my conference table, and I keep walking by it, and I'll just flip open to a page. And the way that he writes his book is you can literally just open a page and read it, and it's like a shot in the arm. I feel like I'm in the Army being yelled at by an officer and, straighten up and do things this way, discipline and hard work. And I love it. I love it. I love it. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go over to that book that keeps calling to me, open it up, and whatever I open up to, one of those things, I'm going to read that on my podcast and react to it and give it a mindset once over, right? Read it and see how it applies to us in mastering our mindset. So that's what I'm doing with you guys today. So going to the field manual of Discipline Equals Freedom. How about that title, huh? That's in itself amazing. So I opened it up, and here we are on page 78, and it says, overwhelmed. Yes, life can be overwhelming. That's the way life works. It is testing you. It is going to throw problems at you, and it is going to throw them at you all at the same time. This is the way life works, Murphy's Law. It is easy to feel beaten when you are faced with all those problems at once. But let me tell you, that does not mean give up fighting. In fact, it means the opposite. It is time for you to fight harder, to dig in, to go on the warpath, to assess what the problems are and decide which one are you going to attack first. Then get started. Attack. And listen, it won't be easy. In fact, it will be hard. Life is hard. That's what life is. And these challenges you face, they are going to do their best to take you down. Do not let them. Stand up. Dig in. Line up those problems and confront them. Face them. Fight them. Do not let them bring you down. Instead, let these challenges raise you up. Let them elevate you. Let their demands and their trials make you stronger. Let the adversity you face today turn you into a better person tomorrow. So in the future, you look back at these struggles and you say to them, thank you. You made me better. All right, so that is a quote from his book. I just randomly opened it, page 78 and 79, from the Discipline Equals Freedom Field Manual by Jocko Willink. I'm telling you guys, this book is intense. It's like all black, and just, I love it. I love it. I love it. Shot in the arm. So what is my initial reaction to this? I just read this. Well, first of all, I love that his reaction to the feeling of being overwhelmed, which we've all had, is not a passive reaction. It's like this fight back, stand up reaction. I think sometimes when we feel overwhelmed, our instinct is to survive that feeling. Now, of course, we think that it's great that we didn't crawl into bed under our covers and hide from the feeling of being overwhelmed. So I think we feel like, well, we've accomplished something because we're surviving it, right? I've had a crazy day. You just can't imagine. I can't wait for this day to be over. I survived it. But that's not really what he's saying, is it? He's not saying survive this, which is sort of like a passive word, which is, yes, you made it, but you were sort of standing still. Every word he uses here is attack. Go on the offensive against the challenges coming at you. It's not to take that feeling of being overwhelmed and let it paralyze you. Yeah, you don't want to be stopped by it, but you also don't want to have a passive survivalist mentality. Just let me get through it. Let me come out the other end. He's using language which is all about action, all about moving forward, all about fighting in kind of that language of like going to war, which is digging in, right? Digging in the trenches, standing up, really standing your ground and gaining ground and moving forward against that which is coming against you. And as you read, if you listen to what I just read, and as I read it, he talks about life coming at you and problems coming at you. Don't let them bring you down. All the language he uses is about the things that are challenging you, not the people. So, we have a tendency to say, well, I'm not going to let them bring me down. I'm not going to let them make me feel bad about myself. And a lot of times when we use that language, that them immediately in our mind is that person. And you know what? It's never a person. When you get in an argument with your spouse, it's really not about your spouse. It's about something that's challenging you or the both of you that needs to be dealt with. It's not really that other person. When something bothers you at work, your boss, a coworker, whatever, typically it's not about them. It's about an issue that needs to be addressed, a challenge that is there to test you, to test them. And we have a tendency to direct our frustration, our feelings, our anger, our resentment, or whatever it is towards the person that it's coming from. But the truth is, it's just unmasking a challenge that we need to conquer and we need to overcome, either about ourselves or how we deal with other people. It's not generally about the other person. So even our language, I think, and the way that we visualize those challenges coming at us that are making us feel overwhelmed, that are making us feel like we can't make it another day, that are making us question ourselves, that we don't focus on the people involved in that in as much as we focus on the challenge that is before us, that is saying to us, come on, see if you can beat me. I mean, the language in this book is very military, right? It's very much the challenge in front of you, climb that wall that's in front of you. But there's something that's really refreshing about that. There's something that is really admirable and encouraging, because when you look at something from the point of view of how the military mindset works, you just simply plow forward. You don't question. When someone asks you to do something in the military, a supervisor does, there is no questioning, no doubting. You may not have the full picture. You just say, yes, sir, and you move forward. And wow, that's incredible, right? We want the full picture, don't we? We don't want to just say, yes, sir. We don't want to just have a challenge come at us and have to dive right into it. We want to back off. We want to assess it. We want to feel sorry for ourselves. We want to rest and think, well, I can't handle that today. We want to complain about it. We want to point fingers. We want to blame. But, the military, you're not allowed to do any of that. The military says you're asked to do something, a challenge is in front of you. You say, yes, sir. How high do you want me to jump, sir? And you just go. And in no way do you have the full picture. Nobody does in the military except the guys at the top, right? Everybody has a piece of the full picture. Everyone gets a piece of it. Those on the front lines have a certain piece of it. Those that are in the offices planning things have a certain piece of it. And as you move up the line of command, the picture becomes clearer and clearer. The full strategy becomes clearer and clearer. And when you get finally to the top, when you get to that 5-star general, then they have the full picture of the battle plan. Well, I think the same is true in our lives, right? When I look at what we have to do on a daily basis to try to chase our purpose and overcome things that come at us, we have to do that mostly without the full picture. We don't know what tomorrow holds. We sometimes have a sense of the plan for our lives, but we don't have the full picture. We certainly don't know all the details. And we certainly can't make every single call by ourselves because we don't have all the information we need to make the correct call. So who do we lean on? We got to lean on the guy who's at the top of the organization. We've got to lean on the 5-star general who has the full picture, the one who knows where everybody needs to be placed, the one who knows the reason why the fight is happening, the one who knows the source of the battle and why it needs to be won and how to win it, the one who has a strategy to make it happen, the one who's been there before us, and the one that has every certainty that victory is in sight. So for me, that of course is God, right? Of course, he is the one that knows me better than anyone. He is the one who knows the fight that's in front of me, and he is the one that has the full picture. I'll never have the full and complete picture while I'm here, but I will be given pieces of it and glimpses of it. And there is this massive trust that I have to walk in, that what I'm asked to do is part of that plan, even though I don't know the outcome necessarily, and I certainly don't know the entire strategy. So I don't know how I got off on that, except that's what this inspired me for, right? Is who do we trust and all of that. And it started with his writing about being overwhelmed and us standing up and moving forward and pushing through that feeling. You know, when an army gets attacked, they push into that attack. A good army doesn't retreat, right? They go forward, they push forward. Their plan is definitely not to retreat, or they wouldn't be an army. An army pushes into the battlefield and tries to push over the enemy lines and to victory. So today, tomorrow, this week, if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't be passive. If you're feeling overwhelmed, know that a person or people are not your enemy. The enemy is the challenge coming at you that's meant to stop you and take you down. And you're going to stand up and face that, even when you don't have all of the answers, even when you don't know the full strategy, but you do know there is a battle in front of you. And you know that you must press into it, and you must keep your head held high, and you must use all the tools you have to dig in, to fight, and to not let those challenges bring you down. In fact, let them raise you up and elevate you to the point where at the end of this passage, he says, you say to those struggles, thank you. You made me better. Because guess what? Everyone that you succeed in fighting, everyone that you survive by thriving through, everyone that you push against and you come out the other side makes you that much stronger. And it's another piece of the puzzle, another piece of the strategy and the full vision that we get little by little as we live our lives and we seek to understand our purpose here and walk in it. So be inspired today, guys. It's an incredible book. I really recommend, if you're really motivated by sort of those military ideas of pushing through and persevering in the face of all odds. His writings are incredible. But that for me was my inspiration of the day that I wanted to share with you. I hope it helps you. And I hope those of you who have been looking at coming to the Mindset Reset Intensive on Saturday, March 28th, you guys will take advantage of the last week of the discounted pricing. I've extended it till this Friday, which is the 21st. And it's a great opportunity for you. We will do this kind of work where we push ourselves, right? We don't accept less than the best for our lives. In order to do that, there are things we have to conquer about ourselves. We cannot be passive. So that entire day on March 28th will be spent to inspire you to push through the things that come against you and give you the tools to do that successfully, so that even if you don't know the full strategy for your life, you can win the battles that are in front of you as the picture becomes clearer and clearer and you begin to walk in your purpose. That's what we're going to do that day. So go to mindsetreset2020.com or go to my website, elizabethnader.com. Sign up. Don't miss it. It's only 20 people. And right now it's about half full. So it's filling up. And I know it's going to. And I don't want you to miss out on this life-changing event, and share it with a friend. It's the best thing that you can give someone, because we all have battles to face and we need the tools to be victorious so that we can walk in our purpose and make a difference in our world. Thank you guys for your time. God bless. Have a great week. No matter what comes against you, don't let the overwhelming feelings stop you. Push through, stand up, and thank them when you get on the other side that you're that much stronger. God bless. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you for listening to Master Your Mindset Radio. Before you go, if you want to be part of a free online community of like-minded individuals for support, resources, and inspiration as you conquer your limiting beliefs and pursue your purpose, go to elizabethnader.com/community. That's elizabethnader.com/community, or search for Master Your Mindset Academy private group on Facebook. Looking forward to seeing you online.